Where YBH at?
I don't know. We live on YouTube. That's what we doing. So I don't know how
Oh,
YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah, I don't know how YouTube algorithm works. If they even have an algorithm.
They do.
They do. Okay. Well, with that said,
Everything has an algorithm. Anything that's in the
Hashtag,
system,
hashtag.
Matrix.
hashtag. Well, if that's the case, hello, YouTube. We are Studio Sports. My name is Noah, CEO. Up here in the top left corner, we have my partner Quay. Down in the bottom left, we have my boy Reaper. And down in the bottom right, we have my boy Kuro. And we are live tonight, right now, just kind of talking sports. And we've got some segments. And that's about it, boys. Y'all got anything to add? Y'all want to introduce yourselves?
Yo, what's
My
good
name
with it?
Kuro.
Yeah, big Laker crash out. Big Laker crash out birthday tomorrow. So if anybody wants to subscribe to the Patreon, you should do that like today.
Heck yeah. What's up? I'm Reaper. No luck needed. That's all I gotta say.
For sure, for sure.
That's a fire bar right there.
It is.
Kuro,
I already said my name Kuro.
That's Kuro right there.
That's
Good
all that need to be
job.
said. My name Kuro.
for sure. All right. Well, with that said, Quay, I'm gonna send it over to you to go ahead and kick us off and get started.
All right. What's good with it? What's good with it? Studio Sports Nation. You already know who it is. Big Quay, Big Laker crash out. AKA head of NBA crash outs, and I'm going to be bringing you some updates as far as the NBA goes. Going over some standings, going over some seedings. I haven't been on my own podcast for the Laker crash out podcast for the past couple weeks because the homie has been getting sick. I too currently am a little sick right now, but we're getting that figured out. But you know, the difference between me and him is I can work when I'm sick. So as of right now, as far as the NBA goes, we are starting to get a better picture on what the playoffs are going to be looking like. Obviously, there's only about 15, 17 games left, just about. So it's going to be very interesting on how it's about to route out. We have the Thunder in the West as the 1 seed, the Rockets as the 2 seed, Nuggets third, Lakers fourth, Grizzlies fifth, Warriors sixth. As of right now, those are the main top 6 seeds in the West. And then as far on the Eastern side, we had the Cavaliers as the 1st seed, Celtics as the 2nd seed, Knicks is the third, Pacers is the fourth, Bucks is the fifth, and for I feel like the first time in forever, the Pistons are in the top 6 seeding in the Eastern playoff conference right now. So it's going to be very interesting. As of right now, for the East, it seems like those teams are all going to be on lock, and on the Eastern side, the play-in teams, which we'll get into in a second, is what the play-in teams are going to be. um, it's just on the eastern side, there's a major drop off between the 6th seed to the 7th seed, and there's a major drop off from the 10th seed all the way to the 11th seed. So right now, for the play-ins, we're looking at the Hawks against the Magic and the Bulls versus the Heat. Who knows? There might be something that happens within the next couple weeks where maybe the Heat rise up a little bit, the Bulls rise up a little bit, Magic might fall off. We really don't know. We're getting closer to seeing how that's going to route out. But if the playoffs were to start today, the Cavs would face either the Hawks. Well, I mean, they would face either the 7th or the 10th seed. And then for the 2nd seed, they're going to face any of the playing teams. And then we got the Knicks versus Pistons round one. And we got the Pacers versus the Bucks round one on the Eastern side. As far as the Western side goes, again, the 1st and 2nd seeds as of right now are facing any of the playing tournaments. We'd have the Nuggets facing the Warriors, and we'd have the Lakers facing the Grizzlies. Um, now the funniest part about the Western Conference is that everything is so close. The Thunder have the 1st seed unlocked. I really don't see the Thunder dropping below the 1st seed. They have 58 wins. They have the best record in the entire NBA as of this moment. But when it comes down from the 2nd seed all the way down really to the A seed, it's really anybody's game left. There's still almost 15 games left for the entire season. And if just so happens the Timberwolves were to go win out, they could even potentially snatch up the 2nd seed. Um, So it's going to be a very, very tight race all the way into the end for the Western Conference. You could even have sleeper teams like the Trailblazers or even potentially the Mavericks. Can't believe that I'm saying those words, but even potentially the Mavericks making the play-in tournaments. You never know. You never know. They're tied with the Suns right now. The Suns have the tiebreaker over the Mavericks, but if the Mavericks were to make a couple bit of run and the Suns were to drop out, the Mavericks is there at the 10 seed. So you can't count them out. You can't count out the Trailblazers, and you also can't really count out the Spurs too. Even though De'Aaron Fox is out, Victor Wembanyama is out. I don't really see the Spurs wanting to make the play-in tournament. I see them wanting to go get a pretty decently high first round draft pick when it comes to the NBA draft. But I mean, hey, you never know. The culture is evolving with the Spurs. As far as the losers of this season, the bottoming out teams, obviously you had the Pelicans. They started off decently strong, but then it fell off, became very disappointing. Williamson was healthy, fell off for the season. Brandon Ingram is now on the Raptors. CJ McCollum is just CJ McCollum. There's a couple bright spots when it comes to the Pelicans, but I don't see them making any major moves, or at least at the bare minimum being able to make contention for the play-in tournament, not playoffs, but for the play-in tournament, at least for the next 2 to 3 years. And I wouldn't be surprised if Zion is going to be on the market this offseason. Same thing with the Jazz. The Jazz currently only have 16 wins. Uh, as of right now, they are only one game above the worst team in the NBA. The Jazz are the Jazz. You know, it comes to a point where you can only develop young players for so long when you got to make that choice of, do we just blow it up? Do we start from scratch again? Are we going to get high draft capital? Who are we going to send? I know for a fact that there was a report saying that Jordan Clarkson is leaving the Jazz this offseason no matter what. So they're going to be losing one of their main scorers on that team. You have players like John Collins. His future is murky. Colin Sexton is eventually going to want to compete with a real team. It's just going to be interesting on how the Jazz round out. Then you have the majority of the actual other losers from the Eastern Conference. The worst team in the league, the Washington Wizards. Obviously, they traded Kyle Kuzma. They brought in Chris Middleton for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why. It's just a very confusing move on the Wizards' part. Maybe it's for, a better contract to move in the offseason for potential more draft capital. But as of right now, the Wizards are, they're in purgatory right now. It is what it is. Then you have the Charlotte Hornets. We wanted to see LaMelo make a jump this year. LaMelo's making a jump. Same thing with Brandon Miller. Brandon Miller is making his jump too. But unfortunately, the rest of their team is just not good enough. So hopefully, you never know, they might jump up all the way to the first draft pick and they get Cooper Flag. And that would be a scary team. LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, and Cooper Flag on the same team. That would be pretty scary in my opinion. So we'll just have to see how that routes out. The 76ers, probably the most disappointing team in the entire league right now. You sign Paul George, right? You get rid of James Harden the other year, right? And then you trade for Paul George, not doing anything, took podcasting, took our job more serious than his actual job that he's getting paid hundreds of millions to go do. And then now it's not really working out so well. So 76ers disappointing. Brooklyn Nets, obviously the Nets are the Nets. They're in a good stage of their rebuilding. They just got to retool a little bit and then figure out what the image is for their team. Then you have the Raptors. I mean, we'll just have to see how they are next season. I'm starting to lose faith in Scotty Barnes, but we'll just see how it goes. But that is your updates right now on the NBA side of things. Obviously, we're going to be getting into the NFL on the other side of our podcasters. But as far as the NBA goes, it's going to be very interesting these next couple weeks to go see what the playoff sitting is going to be, how the playing tournament is going to route out, and really to see who's going to come out on top.
Well, that's a lot of information to unpack in just 9.5 minutes. That's a lot to get through, but you did it. Good job. Now, I want to say something that Quay, like you just said, is something you never thought you would hear anybody ever say. I'm gonna yap about the Raiders. I'm gonna talk about these Las Vegas Raiders for a second because it's confusing. I'm confused about what's going on with this organization, where they've been, what they've done, the ups and downs. Now, 2 years ago, they fired their head coach and hired Antonio Pierce as their interim head coach. Hired him in 2024 and fired him after the season or mid-season, I can't remember. And then they hire Pete Carroll, Seahawks legend. Carroll comes in and he's making some moves. And I'm not entirely mad at him for doing what he's doing. He's brought in some defensive pieces that were desperately needed when you look at the stat lines and everything that this defense did not do. And then you bring in Geno Smith, right? You're familiar with this quarterback. He knows how to play in your system. He can get some of these wide receivers and these running backs and this offensive line up to speed with this new system. Now, the Raiders were hit extremely hard when it comes to free agency. They lost nearly half their defensive starters to free agency. And now let's not forget about it, but their defense used to be extremely strong. But now they've got gaps, right? Especially at cornerback after Nate Hobbs leaves. After Nate Hobbs leaves, they have pretty much no solid corner. Now, there's a possibility that the Raiders are targeting a corner early in the draft, adding depth at defensive tackle behind Christian Wilkins, right? Christian Wilkins has been solid at the DT position, but I think they need to add somebody to complement him. Definitely. Now, they did pick up I don't know, Eric Stokes, right? They picked up Eric Stokes and Jack Jones are projected. I'm sorry. Jack Jones and Eric Stokes are projected as starters, right? So with getting Stokes as a pickup, the Raiders still remain thin at corner, right? They don't have anybody back there currently. So if injuries or, any kind of whatever issues come up, they're going to be struggling with that corner position. They're going to have linebackers playing corner, and, that just doesn't go down very well, right? Like at all. Now, like I said, this defense before used to be extremely strong. I don't know what year it was. I believe it was 2018 when they had that playoff run with who was their quarterback? Was it Minshew at the time? Carl, do you remember? Because I
It wasn't Minshew. It was
Are you talking
Reaper,
about
do
a
you?
Raiders quarterback?
Their quarterback in
pretty sure it was
2018 when they
Minshew.
went like crazy.
Wasn't it Derek Carr?
It was Derek Carr.
Was it
Yeah.
Derek Carr? Okay. So you go back and you look at, obviously it's an entirely different thing. Years apart seasons, but just in that time frame, this defense has gone down. They allowed 46 touchdowns, 88 of 221 on third down conversions, 10 for 13 on fourth down conversions. They allowed 5,648 yards, had 50 sacks and 16 interceptions. It's not. I need this Raiders defense to get back to where it used to be and make this league fun, make their games with Kansas City more fun. Of course, they just signed Max Crosby to that huge deal, right? He had 7.5 sacks. So I think in order for him to do better, he needs to hit double digits. In order for this defense to get on par and be absolutely just dominant, he needs to get to 10 sacks a season and show people that he's serious, that they didn't just pay him for no reason. And as far as defense, the secondary, like we were talking about with the corners, the secondary extremely needs work. They had 1 pick six all year. Jack Jones had 3 interceptions and 1 pick six. They had 7 interceptions all year long. And I don't understand how the defensive coordinator still has his job, but this is not a good defense that should be run. 7 interceptions on a year is not anything that I would allow, like at all. But they need to focus right now on this draft and this free agency when it comes to I mean, pretty much like every team is doing. They're looking to the draft and free agency to try to fill those holes, right? So they've signed Jeremy Chin, Landon Roberts, and retaining key players like Max Crosby, Malcolm Kuntz, Adam Butler. They also upgraded at quarterback for getting who we talked about, Geno Smith. Here's how some other people, including myself, have graded their moves this year so far in this offseason. The Geno Smith trade, I like it. Like I talked about earlier, you're bringing in a familiar quarterback with a familiar head coach. There's chance for consistency, and consistency is key when it comes to the NFL. The Crosby extension, Max Crosby has been dominant since he's come into the league. He's not proven anything other than the fact that he is dominant and can play in this league, but I think he needs to push a little more, really unlock who he truly is at that defensive line position, and get active. That's all he do. 7.5 sacks is cool, but not when you're playing 17, 18 games. No, you need to be, and maybe more than that. If y'all make the playoffs, you're gonna play more than that. So you need to be able to hit double digits in order to keep up and earn your pay. You're not gonna be like Deshaun Watson. No, you've got to prove that you can actually play. Now, Kuntz's potential, he missed an injury in 2024, right? Dealt with an injury in 2024. Couldn't play. He has high potential to come in this year and play. He's good. I don't know a whole lot about him. I didn't do a whole lot of looking into him, but he does have a chance to come in here and help out. Where was Butler? I believe it is Adam Butler that came back. Picking him up is a great deal. Again, don't know a whole lot about him. Just kind of picked these Raiders. Didn't really focus too much, but now one thing, and Curl, I want your opinion on this. This is a proposed trade before getting into any analysis of this potential deal, right? This is just a
Is
proposed
it for
trade.
is it for K9, bro?
Yeah.
No, because it's a sixth. You talking about the sixth? No,
2025 fifth round pick compensatory.
no.
Y'all would
Keep him.
receive Michael Mayer and a 2025 fourth round.
Do you think I care about some Michael Mayer? No. We got freaking AJ Barner, bro. We got Noah Fant and AJ Barner. AJ Barner, we just drafted last year. He's a really good tight end. He'll probably take Noah Fant's spot. The only reason why I don't think he'll take Noah Fant's spot is because we're paying him a lot more. But I don't think we should draft K9. We got a good backup in Zach Charbonnet. I really do feel like Zach Charbonnet can be a starter, but I don't. That's not what he's worth. I just don't think that's what he's worth. And I honestly want to see his true potential behind a good O-line, and I feel like that's what we're going to see this year if we start drafting O-line. And I don't think a sixth or fifth is worth that for a while. We're just giving away from chump change. Now I don't know why we're trying to become they're trying to come to Seattle Raiders. They got two. They got whatever they got him. So keep him. Yeah, they got two people. Keep him over there. We don't want nobody else. Stop stealing our team. That's all I gotta say.
Okay. Now let's talk about a running back since we're on the topic of running backs. They added Raheem Mostert to their roster from the Dolphins. This is Mostert's 11th season in the NFL. And in 11 seasons, he's not that impressive. 3,791 yards, averages 5.0, which is about average for the NFL. 34 touchdowns. His longest in 2024 was 80 yards, 180 first downs, and 9 fumbles. I don't know if he has what it takes to be alive much longer in this league, unless he comes out here and thrives in Pete Carroll's running system, which we've seen that running backs can easily thrive in that system. I mean, we saw it with Marshawn Lynch. Running backs can thrive with Pete Carroll, but they need to look into the draft as well for younger talent other than Raheem Mostert. This is his 11th season in the NFL this year. So I don't know how much longer he'll be around. But the Raiders can hopefully. Why are you clapping?
Because Raheem Mostert is one of my favorite running backs of all time.
Over Adrian Peterson?
I put him over it.
You put Mostert over AP?
I mean, look, right, when I say that, right, the reason why I like Mostert's game more than AP is that Mostert really fights for yards. Adrian Peterson, don't get me wrong, when I say all this, I don't think that Adrian Peterson never had a fight for his yardage, but he just his gaps are just so much more wide open. Like when you look at Mozart's game, he's breaking tackles left
Yeah,
and
but
right.
have you seen Mostert play in the snow?
Yes, and he doesn't
That's
play good
gonna
in the snow.
be
He doesn't play good in the snow at all. I'll give you
that's the
that. Adrian
deciding
Peterson
factor
definitely
right there,
threat.
though. Adrian Peterson is an all-weather back. You got to have a back that can play in all weather. And
I'm just
when
saying me.
Mostert going to Las Vegas, he's going to be playing in heavy snow. If he goes to Kansas City, Buffalo, he's going to be playing in heavy snow.
I just feel like for me, I enjoy watching Mozart more than I enjoyed watching Adrian Peterson. Like I still think that Adrian Peterson is a better running back, but
Okay.
visually to watch, I think Mozart is just a better running. You know what I mean?
That
Like
might
you
also
know,
be because we didn't have 8K TVs when Adrian Peterson was playing.
also that, you know what I mean? Like I like the Alvin
We was
Kamara's
watching on
game,
some grainy thing like,
Marshawn
is that
Lynch's
him right
goes.
there running now? Is that right there?
Right. You know what I mean? Like I enjoyed Frank Gore when he was a running back. You know what I mean? Frank Gore was also a great running back too.
His son is
So
not the best.
I mean, I mean, it is what it is.
That's what it
I
is.
mean, I love Todd Gurley's game before he just became irrelevant too. Rest in peace to that
Yeah,
man's
Todd
career.
Gurley kind of just dropped off.
He's super dropped off.
Man, that man had arthritis in his legs.
I,
He kind of just
I
dropped
mean,
off,
hey,
though.
you
What
gotta
happens
just
when you come from Georgia?
Yeah, he just got unlucky. I ain't gonna lie.
like it is what it is. Rest in peace Todd Gurley's career. I cannot wait to see him bagging my groceries one day.
That's crazy.
Dang,
It's the
that is
same thing as
crazy.
like Tavon Austin. How you see such a
Yeah,
good star just
he's
randomly disappear.
gone.
True.
Well, that's it for my segment. Um, Kuro or Reaper, you guys can go next and we
Yeah, I
can
got
debate.
you.
We can talk about after.
Yeah, I got you. So, what's up? It's your boy Kuro. I'm just gonna be talking about the NFC West as like a whole. I'm a Seahawks fan, so it's gonna sound more biased, but I'm gonna try not to sound biased. But I'm gonna go through the ranking of how I think the NFC West is gonna play out. So, starting off with like what the 49ers did. The 49ers are coming off a bad season per se. They didn't do too bad. They did mediocre, kind of like, but their projection was really good. However, I don't think they're gonna fare well this season. One, Christian McCaffrey. Is he going to play hurt? Is he going to play good at all this year? Not saying his career's over, but his career is kind of on the downside. Then you got Brandon Ayuk. They just paid this man all this money, and then he's not playing too good. Granted, he got injured, but even when he wasn't playing that well. And most importantly, not even on the offense side, because I feel like the offense is still it's not gonna thrive, but they're gonna play okay. They're gonna play enough to at least score. I don't think they're just gonna be put in the dirt. What I think is gonna happen, their defense took a lot of hits. So they lost a bunch of key pieces in Hufanga, Travarius Ward, Dre Greenlaw, Javon Hargrave, Leonard Floyd, and Malik Collins. Now, granted, they still have the heart of the defense in Fred Warner, but he can't. I just feel like that defense won't play the same because it wouldn't have the same like opposing fear, aggression with all those players being on the field at the same time, other than just Fred Warner. I think they're just going to take a really big decline defensively. But who knows? They probably got some young guys that have a chance to play good. Also, another thing that I just thought of, they lost Jordan Mason to the Vikings. They lost a lot of players to the Vikings, honestly. So they lost Jordan
Yeah,
Mason. So if
Vikings was
CMC
just
does get
sniping.
hurt, yeah, so if CMC does get hurt again or does not play well, who are they going to throw in? Like, I'm not sure. I'm not like a 49ers fan, so I don't know their backup at the moment. But who are they going to throw in place of CMC if he gets injured or if they need him to give him a break or whatever? It just doesn't seem like they are going to be a good team.
Water.
So next, I'm going to go over the Cards. Cards never really do anything in offense. The last time I actually saw the Cards do anything in offense was getting D-Hop randomly. That's about it. Now, they did get Josh Sweat. That's about all they did. I don't think they made any more, got any more pieces. I think they got an offensive tackle that I saw, but it's not really going to change their team. I don't know what's wrong with this team. They are, to me, not calling the team mid, but they just either play really good or really bad. Or you just looking at the team and like, what are y'all doing? Because we played them twice. The Seahawks played them twice. The first time we played them, they scored a little bit. They scored twice, I think, and then we blew them out. The second time, when I watched them games, it's like they really could not do anything against us. And granted, we did not have the best team. It was like we were kind of trying to find a name for ourselves. I'm just confused on what the Cards can bring to the table. What I'm trying to say is I don't know what the team's problem is. Is it Kyler Murray? I don't think it is because Kyler Murray is a good quarterback. They got good receivers. They probably need another one to complement Marvin Harrison. James Conner was an okay back. It could be the line. I haven't watched all the games. I mean, we were kind of blitzing him a little bit, making him force out the pocket. But I just don't see much coming from this team. I just don't think they're going to be impactful. And right now, I'll just go ahead and throw that out there. I think, bias aside, I really think we're going to win the West. If we don't win the West, the only team I see us losing to is the Rams. I'm going to be honest. So we will probably lose to the 49ers once. But if we lose the division, it'll probably be to the Rams. Cards are going to be in last. I feel like the 49ers are going to be third, second, and first. I'm going to say it's us for where we're going to be first, and second is the Rams. But if we do lose that, it's going to be the Rams. And getting into the Rams, they have always been a dark horse team. They've always been like a team that just, no matter what they do, they will be able to contend in the recent years. So they got Poona Ford. Poona Ford was on our team. He's a big body, big DT. He's always been, I can't say impactful, but he's always been made a staple on the team to go from another team for other teams to want to pick up. Now, what's really scaring me about the Rams, as a Seahawks fan, is just they have Kyron Williams. They got Puka. Their offensive presence is always there for sure. They always are able to score. They're always able to put numbers on the board. They always have a good O-line. And just defensively, they don't have like star pieces on their team per se, but they just work as like a bunch of role players to, like when like a coach says a team's firing on all pistons, that's what I see their defense as. Their defense is just always there. I keep using the word mid. I don't want to say mid, but they always play really good. And finally, we're going to go to the Seahawks. Bias aside, I really feel like we had a good offseason. People are throwing us on the bus saying we had a terrible offseason because we got Sam Darnold. Now, I'm just going to say this. I know people don't realize what Sam Darnold's contract is. We can get out of it next year. We only have to pay him 1 year of his contract. It's in the contract that if he does not do good or up to our standards this year, we do not have to pay him the whole $100.5 million. I don't know how much he gets. I think it's just whatever guaranteed. I think that's around 40, which we would not take a big hit if he does not play good. We could draft a quarterback this year, whether that be like Jackson Dart or Riley Leonard. I've seen a bunch of people saying we're going to draft later in the rounds. I don't know. Whatever the case would be, I'm excited for the team. I'm excited to see a new offense. Granted, it could be bad. It could be really good. I'm just excited to see a new face. Geno was not horrible. We don't have O-line, and I think that's why people are saying we're just still going to be trash because Sam Darnold can't play behind a good line. And also, he had the best receiver in the league. I don't think he's just going to go out there and play like he did on the Jets. I think he's going to go out there and play slightly above average. I'm not going to lie. If I'm just being honest with you, I think he's going to go out there and play slightly above average. Now, you can shock us all and just light everybody up. 44 touchdowns, no interceptions type beat. That's stretching it. But, hey, I got to have faith. But I think we're going to draft a lot of O-line in the draft this year. Now, on top of just drafting offense, because I really feel like that's all our offense needs. Granted, we lost DK. We lost Tyler Lockett. Yeah. Two really good receivers. But we picked up Cooper Kupp. Now, Cooper Kupp's not 2021's Cooper Kupp where he had the triple crown. But he's still going to be a good receiver. He's going to be an addition to our offense. We're going to move JSN to the outside. And we also got Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Now, people are saying we just got a bunch of slot receivers. Yep. I don't think that. I think we're going to move JSN to the outside. And he's going to have time to shine as wide receiver.
Kupp was a slot receiver.
That's where they shine most, and it's like only two people can play slots on both sides. However, I mean, we got Jake Bobo. Maybe we throw Jake Bobo in there. Jake Bobo's a big body. He's 6'4". He's 6'4".
Yeah, throw Jake Bobo on the right side. Throw JSN on the left. Bobo on the right. Kupp and MVS in the slots. Then
we could do that, but Jake Bobo's not going to be. I don't think Jake Bobo's like there enough to be able to hold his own on the side yet. He can. He's just slower. He's on the slower side. I think he ran like a 6 something in the 40. He's a big body. He can catch over people. He didn't have the most aggressive like head taps and then like that, but I feel like he can catch over people. And then I just really feel like we're going to
6'4", yeah.
Yeah. I feel like our offense is just going to be good, and especially if we get O-line to play for Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet. We have a good running back duo I really feel like we have one of the best running back duos in the league if we just have a good O line. The man
Y'all
K9
are
is
right
a
up there with the
beast.
Lions.
That's what I'm saying. The man K9 is a beast. Speaking of the Lions, you saw when he played the Lions. It looked
Mm-hmm.
like K9 used to wrestle back in his future, like back in his past. He
Probably.
got tackled. He's laying on somebody's stomach, flips
Mm-hmm.
himself over with sheer power, and then still runs for it. He runs, he grounds and pounds. He's like a Marshawn Lynch, but more aggressive. So I don't think we lost. I don't think we're just too far away from being a complete team. Maybe a quarterback to replace Sam Darnold in the future, and just O line. Defensively, we got rid of a bunch of players that really weren't doing anything. This is just a free up cap, and another reason why we got rid of Tyler Lockett was the free up cap. And also, my favorite thing, we got straight Brown in a Stone Forsyth. O lineman that sold us and a cornerback that sold us a lot of the year. But
All
our
right.
defense was always there. Our defense was always there. If you look at our last stats from like the last 10, like 7-10 games or whatever, we ranked 5 in almost every category. So I think we're still going to be there as defense. I saw something where we're going to draft. I don't remember his name. It's Nick Marwari or something like that. I don't know if you've heard it. It's a safety. Let me
Out
see.
of the name sounds familiar, but I'm blanking where he
Yeah,
goes to
he's a safety
college.
out of in Detroit. No, Carolina. That's it, I think.
South Carolina?
Yeah. I,
Gamecocks, right?
no. Uh, yeah. My fault. Yeah. So we're projected to draft him because
He's
our
not horrible.
Michael,
He's actually he played a big role in Clemson losing to them. Most safeties they say they're on an island, but he flies around. It doesn't seem like he's ever on an island. He's
and
always helping somebody and always got help.
that's why we want him because if you
Yeah.
see the way he plays, because I saw like what our coach was saying. Our coach is an old Ravens head coach, not head
Mhm.
coach, the defensive coordinator. They got Kyle Hamilton. He plays like
Mhm.
Kyle Hamilton, a play that he knows how to put in a system. And I feel like if we get him in another DT and the rest, we could just draft off the left. I feel like we'd be fine. That's why I really, overall, coming to a conclusion, I really feel like we got a good chance to win the division, go to the playoffs. Depends on how all the teams play in the playoffs. I feel like we got a good chance. We'll probably win 1-2 games. I don't think we're a bold team yet. We also got to see how Sam Darnold plays because he either could play really good, the same as last year, or Jets. I
Mhm.
don't want to see Jets Sam Darnold. I really
Oh
don't.
my
Panther
gosh.
Sam Darnold, we didn't see much of, but I just don't want to see Jets
I
Sam
hated
Darnold because they
Jet
said he's
Sam
seeing
Darnold.
goes. But he didn't have the best situation. The Jets, you can't really fault any Jets
I just feel
QB for
like any
being on the
quarterback that
Jets.
goes to the Jets is just
They're
done for.
cursed.
They're just cooked.
Yeah, they're cursed. They have a mark, and yeah. So, granted, I just hope our team does good. If we draft a line to build around them, I was hoping we traded for O line. But we didn't make a push for some of them. We got Josh Jones from the Ravens, but he's a backup. He's a good backup piece. The bad depth to the O line, but we really didn't trade for nobody. But coming to a conclusion, I see really us winning the division, then the Rams, then the 49ers, and then the Cards. That's how I see our division playing out.
All right, well, Reaper, you're the last
All
one.
right.
He said,
So
"All right."
well, I'm gonna talk a little bit about March Madness and the Florida Gators, coming back on that win against UConn. They had to dig deep for that win. For 30 minutes straight, UConn showed the mettle and toughness that delivered back-to-back national championships for Dan Hurley.
They're lagging,
Top
buddy.
playing, oh sorry, top seed of Florida in the second round of the NCAA tournament, but the Gators had to rally to a 77-75 victory over the Huskies. And then UConn's pursuit of a third straight title, Florida 32-4, advanced to the Sweet 16 for the first time since 2017, and will play Colorado State or Maryland, which I think Maryland won that game. In the West Region semifinals in San Francisco. Now, the first half of that game was pretty close. I think the Gators could have not turned the ball over 9 times. And I think that would have helped them out pretty well. They probably would have been far out against UConn in that first half. But like I said, that second half, UConn just kind of ran away for a little bit, and the Gators were just kind of falling behind, and they kept up as much as they could at least. And I think the last about, I don't know, 8 minutes, Gators came back. Walter Clayton Jr. just shooting shots, crazy shots that people shouldn't be shooting, but kid's special. Got some better in the paint buckets. That's where they were really lacking. And they should do a little bit better next game against Maryland. Maryland's got a pretty decent defense, but they can't really hang with Florida's fast tempo offense. And I think whatever game after that, who's to say? But would be, let me see. Texas Tech or Arkansas. I think Gators have already beat Arkansas a bunch of times by like 20 points. So, who's to say we get there? But definitely pulling out for them. They definitely have a giant chance to take those nets down, but we'll see. They are number 1 seed in the West. They are favorited above some teams, some analysts say, but the Gators are a pretty decent team. I mean, I think it was like 22 points they were up against Norfolk State. It was a pretty decent game. They all game they were ahead, but beat Auburn this year, beat Alabama, Tennessee, beat Tennessee in the SEC championship. The Gators definitely have, I think, a chance. They have a better chance than most. Duke, them and Duke, I think it's going to be the final two. But that's pretty much it for me. Yeah.
You don't mind,
I'm calling it right
Noah, can
now.
I ask a
Houston's
question?
winning March Madness.
No, brother, can't tell you. Houston's gonna
Calling
get
it
that
right
whooping.
now. Houston is winning March Madness. If it's not Houston, it's Duke. But I'm calling it right now. Houston is
Hey,
winning
we'll
March
see.
Madness.
We'll see.
I'm so sad UCLA got bounced out. I'm so
Yeah, I want Duke to win. I don't like Houston.
sad. I don't either, but I just been looking at their games and I'm like, bro, like I just don't see them losing. Like, you know what I mean? Like they beat a good Gonzaga team. Obviously, Edwardsville is wherever. I don't even know where that place is. But I mean, I look at a team like Purdue. Like I just don't see like they're sweeping them. They're going to the Final Four. Kentucky's not that great. Tennessee's all right, but like Houston's just gonna rat them out. And then you're looking at the other brackets. Duke's probably gonna come out on top. I don't see Arizona. I don't see Oregon coming out. BYU has a crazy chance to do something. Or some real March Madness. We'll see how BYU is. They got to face Alabama next. You look on the other side of the bracket. You could go either way. I mean, yeah, I got my bets on Michigan State over Auburn, even though Auburn's
That's
whooping
Michigan.
feet right now. Huh?
It's the Wolverines.
No. I'm talking about like
Mich-
just coming out of the South Division, out
Gotcha.
of the full South Division. I think Michigan State has a good chance of coming out. And as far as the West Division goes, I mean, the Gators probably have it on lock. But I see Houston. Houston's just coming out on top. I don't know why. I have a very strong feeling that Houston is coming out on top this year.
I mean, Houston's
Nah,
always been up there for the last 3 years. I kind of felt bad for him, like I said, the last 3 years, and
I'm
I
manifesting it, bro.
I don't
No,
think Houston's
delusional.
got it with the top
Right.
other number 1 teams. They're a good team, but I mean, Duke is an all around good team.
Duke's
Auburn,
great. Auburn's great. Florida's great.
that's what I'm saying.
There's no
I don't know. Of course, I can't read the future, but to me, Houston's a great team. But the top number 1 teams are the top number 1 teams. I mean, it's going to be a fight.
true.
Well, we've covered a bit of both tonight. Basketball, football. I'm happy with it. We got about 20 minutes left if you guys just kind of want to yap, or if you guys are good with this, then I'm good with this and we can go about our nights. But
Who
it's
do
up
y'all
to you
think is
guys.
winning the NBA Finals? Let's make an
There we
early
go.
prediction. Who do y'all think is winning the
Oklahoma
NBA
City
Early
Finals?
or
predictions.
Boston. That's on me.
You said
Austin.
Boston?
Yeah, I think they still got the team to go all 7 games.
No, hold on, because I said this
Not a
in
lot of
Ghost
teams
Live
do.
and watch it happen. I gotta find it. Cause I took a screenshot. I was gonna send it in the group
What
chat.
you say? What you say?
Where is it at? I'm not gonna be able to find it. Here we go. Yeah. I said the finals, Marvel rivals, old vinyls, Lakers in 5. That's what I said.
Say that.
Ain't gonna cap.
Say that.
Whatever, bro.
Say
That's when I
Ain't
that.
figured
getting
out by
past
myself.
Oklahoma City. Ain't no way.
Who?
Oklahoma City, bro. They're not getting past them.
I'm sorry.
Man,
Let me
watch
let me
Luka drop
reiterate that.
70.
Who? The team that
Watch
doesn't
Luka
have
tee up.
any playoff experience? Who?
Hey, it's all
Man,
right.
bro.
I love OKC. They don't have no playoff experience, bro. You know what I mean? Like the Thunder, sure, yeah, Shea Gilgeous is
Oh,
great. Blah
what
blah
does
blah blah
Lakers
blah.
have? Diddy
Le-
LeBron?
Le- LeBron James with 4
Diddy
rings.
LeBron.
Luca who just went to the finals last year.
I know. Hey, I mess with Luca.
Hey.
Austin Reeves has been going crazy in the playoffs for the past couple of years. Rui's coming back finally. Jared Vanderbilt's going crazy on the defensive end. Same thing with DFS. And don't sleep on my
They ain't got no
Lakers, bro.
bigs. What bigs
We
they
got
got?
Jackson Hayes.
Oh my
I ain't gonna lie.
whatever.
Luca kind of been teeing Jackson Hayes up. I'm not gonna cap. I don't
On
know what
me,
Luca
bro.
been
He's been
doing, but since
making,
Luca got the team, Jackson Hayes been
bro.
playing a lot better.
Jackson Hayes has been looking like prime Shaq, bro. He's been looking like Joe White in the paint. On my life, bro.
He
Stop
ain't got no
sleeping on
playoff
Jackson
experience.
Hayes. He's gonna do just like to his ex to the playoffs, and he gonna beat him up.
Dang, bro. Domestic violence.
DV domestic. See with the domestic violence.
She with the domestic violence. Oh, okay.
I'm calling it right now. If it's not the Lakers coming out the West, it's probably gonna be the Nuggets coming out the West. I'm not gonna lie to you. I really don't
Yay.
see.
Tickets.
I really don't see any other because like the Rockets aren't a playoff team, right? Because they've never
Nah.
been to the playoffs, except for Fred
They're
Van
too
Vliet.
young.
He's won a chip. You know, shout out to Fred Van Vliet. Give credit where credit's due. But they're not a playoff team. The Thunder are not a playoff team. The Warriors might be able to sneak something. You know, it's going to be interesting seeing
Mhm.
playoff Jimmy with playoff Steph. You can't count them out.
Okay.
Playoff
Okay.
Jimmy and playoff Steph are really all that you need to win a series. Especially with Draymond locking in, he hasn't been swinging on nobody, so he's doing what he needs to do. Um, you know what I mean? So it's like it'll be interesting to see what they're gonna do in the playoffs. But as far as any other team that's in the West right now, the Clippers, trash. Timberwolves,
Mhm.
they just need to get their identity back. They lost Cat. They lost Rudy, or no, I mean, it's not lost Rudy, but I mean, where is Rudy? You know, they still haven't found him this season. So you know what I mean? Like the Timberwolves are still looking for their identity. Um, the Suns aren't doing nothing in the playing tournament. Kings aren't doing nothing in the playing tournament. So like, you know what I mean? I just don't see anybody else coming out the West. As far as the East, it's probably gonna be the Cavs or the Celtics. I don't see any other team upsetting them in the East. It is what it is. Cavs are a great team, but the Celtics do have that playoff experience over the Cavs. Shout out Donovan Mitchell. Maybe he'll make that leap this year and actually bring the Cavs to the finals. But I don't know. Every other team in the East is just weak to me.
Mhm.
Every other team in the East is just super weak to me. Like I was just going over the standings, right? Like you look in the East right now. Who you got? The Knicks. The Knicks are fakes. They're fraudulent. Pacers.
Yeah.
Tyrese Halliburton. That's about it. The Bucks. Okay, you know, you got Damian Lillard and Giannis. You know, they might make a little run to get to maybe like the conference finals, but they're not making no NBA finals. The Pistons, who? The Pistons,
They too
the
young.
they're too young. You know what I mean? Shout out to Kate Cunningham. I love that man. He's a great. I want him to win Most Improved Player this year.
And the
I
shooter
want
balling though.
Cade and Schroeder balling.
Schroeder.
But then you look at every other team in the East. Hawks, trash.
Trash.
Magic could have been
Trash.
better, but they fell off. Bulls, trash. He super bunk ever since Jimmy left. I'm pretty sure they're on like a what, like a 10, 15 game losing streak right now.
Nah, they just won tonight.
Oh, they just won tonight.
They beat the Hornets
Damn.
though.
Shout out to the Heat. Exactly. Hey, everyone's got to get a win against the Hornets at least once in the season. Um. So yeah, it's probably going to be the Cavs or the Celtics. If there's any sleeper team in the East, it might be the Bucks. Maybe Giannis wants to finally kick in the gear, say, you know what, I want to win a championship. You know what I mean? Like he might get his shit together and he wants to go win a championship. But I see someone in the
I
West
don't
getting
think
it
they
this
got
year.
it for the Cavs or the Celtics, man. They ain't got what
I'm
the Cavs and Celtics got.
I'm calling it right now. The Lakers or the Nuggets. It's gonna be a Western. It's gonna be a Western champion team. I don't see the Celtics or the Cavs beating anybody in the West this year. I wouldn't even be mad if Steph gets number 5. I'm gonna be honest. If Steph gets number 5 this year, he's better than Magic Johnson, without a doubt.
Not for real.
Also, real quick, let's just talk about Lotus's haircut real quick. Look at this man.
I can't even see it.
Look at this
I
man.
ain't gonna lie.
Fresh.
Look, no. I'm gonna say what I gotta say. He looks horrible. I told him to go bald. You need to go bald, grow out the beard, and then he gonna look fire, bro. I'm telling you, you put that man bald, beard, suit, fire. I'm not gonna lie. Say I'm wrong.
Nah, you're not wrong. I think you should go bald
See,
too.
you gonna
Chat,
look
leave it
like
in the
you gonna look like
comments.
Kingpin out there.
Chat, I'll tell you what. If we can get to
I'm gonna
five,
put this little section on YouTube. Or
chat, if
on
we can
TikTok.
get Lotus to 500 subscribers on Patreon, he'll go bald.
Why you looking like that? You
Get him to
going
shave his
bald? I'll
beard
come down
too.
there and shave you
Shave
myself.
his beard.
I'm
Yeah,
putting it on the timestamps. It's on the timestamps. I'll put it on TikTok.
Oh, that's all the
If
for
one of
sure.
if one of y'all want to promote the video, then feel free to do so. It's $8.
Bruh, I pay
Just
$8
saying.
just to shave your beard.
I would too.
Then promote
We've
the
been trying to
video.
get man
Give me the
to go
500 subs
bald
on
for
Patreon and
like
we'll
2
do it.
years.
500 subs on Patreon. I'll do it.
Bro, I'll
500
make
subs on
500 fake
Patreon.
accounts.
Y'all heard it right here live. I won't delete this either. It's live. 500. I'll do it.
Alright. Alright. With the razor though.
All right. I'm gonna let
So
Ghost do it. I'm gonna do it live on TikTok.
With the razor blade though.
Nah, you gonna let me do it. I'm the only one who's been bald in the entire group. You gonna let me do it when you come out here?
I gotta have 500 by then. If I don't have 500, you're not doing it.
If you do not have once we hit 500 Patreon subscribers, you're coming out to Utah. I'm grabbing my shaver and I'm making you bald, boy.
Man, it's gonna be a cold day in
Super
Utah.
bald.
I'm gonna
you can
make
just
sure
wear
that we do
hats.
it when it's
I could.
nah. I'm gonna make sure he's gonna do it outside when it's snowing.
I was gonna say, Bo gonna have to wear a beanie afterward.
On me.
Bro, I'm gonna make
Straight
sure that I do
hats
it.
for 3 months.
I'm gonna make sure that you do it. Nah, if we get a 600, you can't wear hats for at least like 3 weeks, bro. Or at least at the bare minimum, you got to
It's a
do every
month.
podcast. You got to do every podcast without a hat on.
I don't know if I could do that, but
Look at
Seems
that,
reasonable to
man.
me.
I don't know
Bro,
if I could do that.
Hilarious.
you're already damn near bald. Look at it. Look at Lotus. You're already almost bald, bro. Look at
What?
that cranium.
I'm not bald. But sure.
Your hairline is halfway to the back of your head.
Chrome dome.
Calm down. That man got an
Alright,
85-inch
do it
flat
again.
screen.
That's crazy.
And the live, and the
Dang.
Yeah,
live,
end
and
the
the
live.
live.
End the live. Hold on. All right, appreciate y'all for joining through, coming through, whatever. We will be live next week. Thursdays instead of Sunday. We just had issues, but we will be live Thursday, every single Thursday at 9 p.m. EST to give you guys more sports knowledge and keep you guys updated about what's going on in the sports world. So, appreciate you guys for joining, and we'll see y'all next time.
Yeah, sorry, chat. Sorry we didn't go live on Thursday. It's just one of our members had a personal family issue to go deal with, but we will be here on. Why are you smiling? You're making yourself look guilty, boy. Why are you smiling? Why you looking guilty over there,
My
boy?
fault. My fault. My fault. My fault. My fault.
We'll see y'all on Thursday. Kuro.
Yo.
Necrolepsy, or I forgot what your name is. I just see the M
Reaper?
at the beginning.
Homie
Reaper.
said necrolepsy, bro.
Oh, that Reaper. Corey, you guys got anything else to say? Y'all got any plugs that y'all want to do at the end?
Oh
Nah.
nah, I'm good.
Shout out Kuro, shout out Soul, shout out Ghost.
Appreciate it.
Shout
Two of
out
those people, the same people.
Nicole.